Hi, I'm Darren Walker, and this is Inside Louisiana Softball. Today we introduce you to one of the players leading the team in home runs, junior catcher Julie Rawls. And later, Dr. Brian Maggert updates us on the state of the Ragin Cajuns athletics. But first, I sit down with softball head coach Gerry Glasco to discuss the weekend series with UT Arlington and more. You're watching Inside Louisiana Softball. Hello everyone and welcome into Inside Louisiana Softball. Darren Walker joined as always by the head coach Gerry Glasco. Coach, good week, 4-0 on the week, including a sweep of UTA, and we'll get to that series in a minute. But first, you did have a midweek game against Mcneese. You win that one 4-0. 3 pitchers combined for that shutout. And talk about that game for a little bit.
Well, it was important for us to go back up after we lost those earlier in the year and then to go on the road and pick up another road win. And you know, they're a top 100 RPI type team, and they've got a very good history of upsetting big schools or better programs. And so we were really worried. It was a huge win for us to get off to, a huge win for us because we wanted to get off to a good start in an important week.
So then we get to Texas Arlington for the weekend series, and on Friday night you get out to a 2-0 lead, and that's when things just kind of get a little bit wild. Texas Arlington scores a run to make it 2-1, and then Summer gets the strikeout, but there is a runner at third base. She got strikeout for out number 2. And then everybody thought she got strikeout number 3 for out number 3, but that wasn't the case. And the teams were clearing the field and everything, but that wasn't the case. The ump called ball 4, and then so again the runner's at third base, and Summer has to get back out on the circle, and the next batter smashes a one down the line on third base, and Sarah Hudek just came up with an incredible catch.
Yeah, it was a huge moment in the game because, we had great momentum. When they had a run at third, we get 2 straight strikeouts, we thought. Mm-hmm. And, our catcher thought it was a strike. Our pitcher thought it was a strike. The batter thought it was a strike, but the umpire didn't. And so be it. We flipped the ball up in the air in excitement. And I want the kids to play with excitement. And luckily, the runner on third was so sure that she struck out also, she just started walking towards the dugout. And it didn't cost us there. The batter ended up at second, but what we did lose was momentum. And Summer, no doubt, probably lost a little focus there and the frustration of the moment. And so the next kid hits an absolute bullet, which would have put us behind 3-2. Mm-hmm. And for Hudek to make that play, it just speaks about what kind of player she is. And she's done that over and over. That's like her 4th great catch this year, where a game-changing type catch. And it was a huge moment for her, and it was a huge moment for our fans. And again, it goes to the depth of our ball club, where we play great defense. We've got great pitching, but we play great defense and take a lot of pride in our defense. So it was really good. It was a good moment for our team, and then we were able to take that and carry on and get some momentum and go ahead and get the win.
Right, because in the bottom of that inning, you scored 2 more runs. It really did seem to spark the team, and you guys win that one 4-1. Game 2 on Saturday, Summer was brilliant again. She gets the complete game shutout, and then you were able to scratch a couple across and win that one 2-0.
Yeah, it just speaks volumes about Summer and Coach Roberts. He's a great preparer, has a great game plan always. Very intelligent pitching coach and a very intelligent pitch caller. And then with the combination of Summer's ability now to throw 3 and 4 pitches well for strikes, he's able to go back-to-back and always have a better second game than the first game. And that's happened over and over the last month and a half. And the only reason that they're able to do that is Summer has so many good pitches that she can throw for a strike on any count. So he's able to obtain a better scouting report of their hitters after game 1 than the hitters do on our pitcher or our pitch caller. And it's just a credit to both Summer Ellison and Coach Roberts. They're just doing an amazing job for us, and very fortunate to have them in our program right now.
Game 3 was game 2 of the doubleheader on Saturday, and you briefly trailed in that one 2-1, but you came right back to tie it at 2. And then in the 4th, pinch hitter comes in, Lexi Como, and she delivers a huge RBI double. Or single, I'm sorry. And then next batter came up, got double. But you guys take the 4-2 win in that one.
Yeah, one of the things about having depth in your ball club is you've got so many players you want to get in the game in some way. And my goal has always been throughout this season to try to get as many people in as I can, different ways. And so we have Boswell on the mound, and I think, well, let's let Boswell hit today. And but I want to keep a great defense out there because she's a drop ball contact pitcher. And so unfortunately, Lexi Como's been red hot, and I didn't put her in the lineup. And she's a great leader. She's a great teammate, and she handles it well. But about the second or third inning, I walked over and said, hey, have your helmet and bat ready. I'm going to give you a chance to win this game for us and be ready to do that. And she said, thanks. And so it's pretty cool. Like an inning later, we're able to come up with I think score was 2-2, and runner in scoring position, 2 out, and I put her into pinch hit, and she hits a bullet down that left field line, and that was against her number one pitcher, Randy Carroll Phillips, who had handled us pretty good on Friday night. And then the difference was Boswell had only seen her, she hadn't saw her, she'd batted one time, but she hadn't saw Carroll Phillips in the circle, and Lexi had saw Randy Carroll Phillips 3 times on Friday night. So I said, hey, Carrie, Lexi saw her 3 times last night. Let me let her hit right here. Didn't have anything to do with Carrie Boswell. But for her to do that, it's just a great senior moment, and it's a great program moment, because that's the kind of response and the kind of teammates we have to be able to reach our potential. Right. So I was thrilled for Lexi, and Lexi was thrilled to help our ball club. She always is. She'll do anything we ask her to do, and it's why she's one of the all-time favorite players here at Louisiana. Yeah,
it was quite a moment watching her come off the field and you congratulating her while she was coming off the field. Last question, offense gets a lot of publicity and kind of the headlines, and rightfully so, as does summer. But you touched on this earlier. Just talk about the way the defense is played, not just with that catch, but Grimion at third, making a couple of plays this weekend, keeping runs off the board, and I guess in the long run determining the game.
Yeah, Kara Grimion might be the best third baseman in college softball, definitely one of the top 3 or 4, and I feel like Dalton at short and Grimion at third, that has to be the one of the top, if not the top combination right there in the country. And Kara had a phenomenal weekend, made play after play after play, and of course her bat's getting red hot again now, and she's a demon on the bases with her speed and aggressive style of base running. So that was huge, and we took a lot of pride last year in our defense, and we spent a lot of time working on defense last year, and those kids are all back pretty well. And then we brought in a Hudak, who's already a great defensive player. So, and Rain O'Neill is on the field this year. She was here working with us last year, but wasn't in the lineup, and now she's out there being all the stuff we worked on last year is really, I think, paying off this year. And we've continued to put an emphasis on our defense. Coach Roberts, Coach Lacey have done a great job with our defense this year. But I think we've been able to spend more time on pitching, hitting, and other things, and just kind of being a maintenance program because our defense was so outstanding last year. So it's really good. And defense is unspoken and unheralded a lot of times, but nothing's more critical than having a great defense.
No doubt. Coach will be back with us later to talk about the week ahead. But first, we'll visit with catcher Julie Rawls.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, Mange. If you're happy and you know it, Mange. If you're happy and you know it, nothing God will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, Mange.
Truly, there is something for everyone here, from moving image arts to nursing to petroleum engineering to education to voice to photography to political science to anthropology to sociology. I can't list the almost hundreds of opportunities that students have to find the perfect fit and the major that best represents what they would love to do.
We have alternate certification programs, master's programs, doctoral programs, in addition to hybrid and online classes. So a student can definitely find his or her passion as far as what they want to do.
Not only are we going to find the major that is the best fit for our students, but we're going to make sure they graduate. We have one of the highest graduation rates in the state, and among our student athletes, in fact, we have the highest in the Sun Belt Conference.
Knowing that UL Lafayette has one of the top graduation rates in the state makes me feel much more secure in my decision to come here, and it makes me feel very excited and confident for my time after I leave campus.
We have everything here to be able to make sure that the students have the support they need as they go through the process. From a writing center that'll look over papers and proofread them for you, to free tutoring services that students can walk in on demand and say, physics is not my thing, can you please give me a little bit of help? We have prep classes for the GRE, we have prep classes for the LSAT, we look at medical school and pre-med and law school and business school. We have MBA programs, we have many PhD programs so that students can further their education as they progress.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Softball. Time now to introduce you to one of the players leading the team in home runs, junior catcher Julie Rawls.
Hello, my name is Julie Rawls and I'm a junior on the Ragin Cajuns softball team. I decided to leave Northwestern State and come down here in Lafayette because I just felt that Northwestern State wasn't a good fit for me anymore. And I love the state of Louisiana, so I wanted to stay in the state, and I came down to Lafayette and I just fell in love with everything. The fans here are crazy. And I actually came on a visit here my junior year and decided not to come, but even on that visit, I got to come to one of the games, and so I got to see the atmosphere then and saw the ridiculous amount of fans that show up and like how they have a bond with each and every player. So I got to see that beforehand, and then I came here again and it's still here. The fan base is still amazing, and the coaches that I met when I came here on my visit are amazing too. And I just knew that I wanted to play for Gerry and I wanted to be a part of this amazing softball team that's down here in Louisiana. The transition from being an outfielder to catcher wasn't easy at all. In the fall, it really took me for a whirlwind. From being an outfielder to a catcher, you have to know the game a lot more. You're a really big captain on the field. You have to know everything that everyone needs to do during every single play. And then I also have to build a bond with each pitcher, and they have to trust me, and they have to trust that each game I'm going to be behind their back and I'm going to work as hard as I can for them. But as the fall went on, the transition got a lot easier. My coaches worked with me a lot. The players were behind me every single day. They let me know that they had my back and they could see the hard work I was putting in. So it made it a lot easier. And then this spring, I just kind of filled the footsteps that I know that I needed to fill, and the coaches needed me back there, and so I really enjoyed being a catcher this year. Being a left-handed catcher is kind of cool because you don't expect it, and then I feel like I just kind of have an edge on the game because I don't feel like runners on base don't expect if I'm going to pick off first, they don't expect my arm to come from that slot. And then just getting able to show my arm off a lot more during games. And the outfield, I might have had to throw to like second or home once a game, but now I get to show it off in between every inning, and it's pretty fun. Lexi has helped me in this transition a ton. She has been one of the best teammates I've ever been around. Since day one, she knew that she had to have my back, and she showed it every day. She would bring me to the side after each practice and just tell me one more thing I had to work on or one more thing she saw. And it was always encouraging. It was never putting me down. It was never just making me feel like I couldn't do it. She always made it feel like I could do it, or she would always tell me how hard I work and how she sees me to be a good catcher, and she's just let me see how she does it. I got to see how she catches, and she is a huge leader. She, every time she steps on the field, everyone just gravitates towards her and they trust her, and I just really try to be like her. She's a really good role model to look up to. We've kind of developed a competition on who can hit the most home runs. Right now it's really me and Sarah. We have a pretty close competition right now, and every time she hits a home run, it's like when she rounds for third, I'm the first person she looks at, and she's kind of catching me right now, so I got to step it up a bit. But it's pretty fun to have that competition because we can all hit them out and we can all hit however many out. Like no, you can't count anyone out because one weekend someone can come up from behind you and take it from you. So it's been pretty fun having that competition. Coming into the season, I didn't know I was going to hit this well. I was kind of scared about the transition to a bigger conference from the Southland, but Gerry has made me feel really comfortable in my new swing, and he works with us every day. We take so many more swings than I ever have in my life. We just work hard and we work hard and we work hard every single day. And so getting to the game, I just feel really comfortable, and I've felt really comfortable all season. And so I am shocked about the success I have, but I just want to keep building, and I know I can. So I've set really big goals for myself.
Next on Inside Louisiana Softball, Athletic Director Brian Maggert updates us on the state of Ragin Cajuns athletics in Maggert Minutes.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come to us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on three. 1, 2, 3, together.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through the directorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Softball. Time now to check in with Athletic Director Dr. Brian Maggert.
Welcome, Cajun Nation. This is Brian Maggert, Athletics Director for the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns. We just completed a very eventful and busy month of March, a month that really culminated in us being able to roll out the new RCF Investor Model. This will be a model that we believe will be much more transparent in nature, will better reflect and recognize our investors at the level that they're fully investing in the Department of Athletics, and it will continue to reward loyalty, which is something we know is very important to our fan base. This week, many of our investors, all of our investors actually, will receive information in the mail, but also be directed to access information on our brand new website that will explain our new model in detail, as well as we'll have 3 established town hall meetings, the first being on the morning of April 13th, prior to the spring football game, where we'll give our investors an opportunity to come together, hear a presentation, and ask any questions that they may have. But at the end of the day, we're very excited about this new model. I think it'll be much more easier for people to understand. Certainly will be much more easier for us to manage internally, and will provide great opportunities for both our investors and our Department of Athletics. The month of March, we recognized all of our athletic trainers, rightfully so. These are a group of individuals who absolutely work behind the scenes and receive very little credit. It's a group of people who are dedicated to the health and well-being of all of our student athletes, covering all 16 sport programs. And so the month of March, we were able to recognize those individuals publicly for the great job that they do day in and day out. A very thankless job at times, but we have a core group of athletic trainers who work very hard and are dedicated to our student athlete population and to this great university. This week, we will be getting together with HOK, the architects on record, for the feasibility study. And we continue to refine and look at a renovation plan for Cajun Field. We're getting ever so close to having a final product, but look forward to getting together with the architect and many other individuals, both internally and on our campus, to decide what direction we can and want to go to move forward. So April brings an exciting month, not only as we continue spring sport play with men's and women's tennis, softball and baseball, and track and field and men's golf, but also April 13th signifies the end of spring football practice. And as we do every year, we will host our Vermilion and White spring game at noon on April 13th. We encourage our fan base to come out and support the Ragin Cajuns and get a look at Coach Napier, his team, his staff in what is to be an exciting year 2. In addition to that, as you may know, we are in the midst of football season ticket renewals. That renewal date actually does end on April 13th, and then soon thereafter we will open up general public season ticket sales to the public. Cajun Nation, I can't stress enough the need for your support this upcoming football season. We need to pack Cajun Field every home game. We have 6 home games, and we need your support more than ever. The best way to support our football program is through attending the events, and the best way to do that is purchase a season ticket. We have price points that are very affordable, that run the gamut, and so are very hopeful and look forward to a strong showing in season ticket sales this year. Well, as eventful and busy as March was, it also was a month of sadness and sorrow for our department. We lost 2 very special individuals in Leonard Welts and Lynn Williams, 2 longtime employees of the university and the athletic department. These were unexpected losses for us, and as a department, we're still mourning their losses. Those are 2 individuals that you don't replace. They're individuals that you try to strategize a plan to keep moving forward, but the specialties that both of those gentlemen brought to our department and to this community are really irreplaceable. So we'll continue to move forward and work very hard on building our equipment room and getting that staffed appropriately, but certainly those unexpected losses were a big blow to not only our athletics department, but to the university and to this community as well.
Look at me in the eye. They bleed just like you bleed. There is no apprehension. There is no fear. Bottom line, they got to come to us to get this done. All right, we decide what happens. We dictate what happens on that field today. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together.
At the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, our Ragin Cajun spirit goes beyond athletics.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Softball. Darren Walker once again joined by the head coach Gerry Glasco. Coach, a very challenging week on the horizon. You go to App State to play in North Carolina. That is followed by a game with the Camels, on Monday, and then on Tuesday you go to UNC Greensboro. And when it's all said and done, you're going to play 6 games in 7 days. Like you just said, it's going to be a grind.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week for us, and the kids are going to get to play a lot of softball. We're not going to be able to do a lot of practice. It's just going to be play and compete, and we'll learn a lot about our team this week. We'll learn how we handle the road one more time, and I feel good about that. We'll learn how we feel. We're going to have to play some games without the best scouting reports in the world. When we go to Campbell and then UNC Greensboro's 58 RPI this morning, They're a really nice ball club with a really good record, and we're going to play them on the road at their place with a very minimal scouting report. So I'm excited about it. And of course, then we got App State 3 games before that. That's a critical series where they're second place in the Sun Belt, and it's our chance to really take a hold of the Sun Belt title and put us in a position where it's almost impossible to overcome us if we could go in there and get 2 out of 3 or a sweep. So it's a huge critical week for us. It's going to be the longest road trip of the year, and in distance, and also the longest in time, where we're playing 5 games in 5 days.
Right. Now, obviously, summer can't be expected to shoulder the load for this entire trip, so you're going to have to rely on your defense, like we talked about earlier in the show, and, of course, some other pitchers, and you may even have to hit your way through a couple of these.
Yeah. We need to get our offense back to – we had a stretch of about 10 games where we were averaging 8 runs a game, and then we went into this last 6-7 game spell where we've averaged about 4 runs a game. And I'd like to see us get back in a happy medium there. And I hope when we come home from this road trip, we got 6 games in 8 days, or 5 games in 5 days out there on the road trip. I'd like to see us score 30 runs in those 5 games. I think that'd be great. And if we do that, we should be able to come out there with at least 4 wins and maybe all 5.
You mentioned App State having a good year. They're 11-3 in conference, right behind you guys in the standings. So obviously this is going to be a chance for you to get maybe a little bit of separation there. Yeah, the weather's going to be interesting too. It's going to be a lot cooler up there, and it looks like there's a lot of rain. So I'm expecting those games to get juggled around. Possibly could end up playing 2 on Sunday, which would make it really tough if we play one Monday, one Tuesday. But it doesn't matter. We just have to go in there. We know App State is a critical, probably the most critical series of the year now because of the situation in the standings, and our kids are going to step up. And I've never been to Boone, North Carolina. I hear it's a beautiful place, but it's the very top of a mountain, high altitude. So it's going to be fun. We're going to enjoy this trip. Yeah, App State led by Kenzie Longenecker, pitcher, 14-2, 1.90 ERA, 81 strikeouts. So you're going to have your work cut out for you at the plate. So when you get these opportunities to score, you're going to have to take advantage of them.
Yeah, she's a nice pitcher. She goes up in the zone. She's got a good movement on the ball. She throws hard. And of course, Coach Horner has done a great job at App State. She's been there, this is her 2nd season, just like myself here at Louisiana. And the program's just going up. And she's doing a fantastic job. And we'll see. We'll do the best we can do there.
Well, appreciate the time as always, Coach. Best of luck to you this weekend. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Softball, we take a closer look at the upcoming schedule.
Lafayette feels like a big city that offers everything but a small town vibe.
Well, to simply describe the culture here in 3 words, it would be joie de vivre, which translates to joy of life, which very accurately describes Lafayette, Louisiana.
There's Festival International, which definitely celebrates so many different cultures and brings in music from all over.
There's tons of parades that are held in the Lafayette area, and there's actually parades that come right through the campus. So if you live on campus in one of the residence halls, you can literally walk out your door and walk to a parade during Mardi Gras season. No need to worry about finding parking or things like that. It's literally right outside your door.
So there are tons of great green spaces outside, like Girard Park, right by campus. There are so many students who go and set up their hammock and read.
Here they have just as many chain stores as anywhere else, like Costco, Walmart, Target, Whole Foods. But then there's also many local boutiques and shops that you can experience as well. Lafayette has a culture unlike any other, whether it be from food, live music, or events around town. You can always experience the culture in many different ways, from po' boys to crawfish etouffee to parades. Lafayette's got it all.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Softball. Time now for a look at the upcoming week.